Welcome back to the channel. I'm glad you're here, especially for this topic. Let me ask you something important. Have you ever considered that the first 5 minutes after you wake up could quietly shape how healthy, mobile, and mentally sharp you'll be in your later years? No, I'm not talking about huge lifestyle overhauls or drastic diets. I mean small, science-backed habits, like what you drink right after waking up, how you move your body, or the nutrients you give it early in the day. These little choices could be the difference between staying strong well into your 80s or 90s, or dealing with preventable decline. In fact, recent research shows that older adults who stick to a few specific morning habits tend to maintain better memory, lower their risk of stroke, and preserve physical strength for much longer than those who don't. Yet, and here's the catch, the majority of people over 65 don't know about these strategies, or they brush them off as too simple to matter. But not you. You're here, and today I'm going to walk you through what many experts call a golden morning formula. 5 steps you can complete in just 5 minutes that support brain clarity, joint health, heart function, and overall longevity. But before we dive in, I'd love to hear from you. Drop a comment below and let me know where you're tuning in from, your city or country. I always enjoy getting to know this amazing community of proactive, health-focused adults. And if you enjoy straightforward health tips that you can put into action right away, make sure to subscribe and tap that notification bell. This way, you won't miss the next episode. Now, let me tell you a story that really brings this all to life. Mike is a retired engineer from California. At 68, he was feeling worn down, mentally foggy, his joints ached each morning, and his doctor was starting to mention some concerning changes in his heart health. I figured this was just what getting old felt like, he told me. But then a neighbor, a retired doctor, shared a simple routine with him, just 5 minutes each morning. Nothing complicated, no pills, no big equipment. Mike was skeptical, but curious. And after sticking to it for a few weeks, he started feeling different, more energy, less stiffness, better mood. Fast forward 6 months, Mike's blood pressure had improved, his cholesterol was lower, and even his heart rhythm tests looked better. His physician was shocked. At 70, he feels stronger and more stable than he did at 60. What changed? Just 5 daily habits, starting the moment he opened his eyes. Let's walk through the first one right now. Here's something most people don't realize. When you wake up in the morning, your body is already running on empty, at least when it comes to water. Overnight, while you sleep, your body quietly loses fluids through breathing and perspiration, even if you don't break a sweat. That fluid loss adds up, and by the time your eyes open, your blood is slightly thicker, your heart is working harder, and your brain might be running on less than optimal fuel. That's one reason why more strokes and heart attacks happen in the early morning hours, especially in people over 65. But there's a way to fight back. And it starts with what you drink the moment you wake up. Here's the simple habit. Keep a glass of room temperature water by your bedside. As soon as you wake, before you even get out from under the covers, drink about 16 ounces, roughly 480 millis. Bonus points if you squeeze in the juice of a quarter of a lemon. Why room temperature? Because icy water first thing can cause your blood vessels to constrict, which slows down circulation at the exact time your heart and brain need better flow. Room temperature water, on the other hand, encourages your blood vessels to expand gently, like opening the windows to let fresh air in. And the lemon? That little splash of citrus adds natural electrolytes, including potassium and a small dose of vitamin C, both of which support better blood pressure and reduce internal inflammation. It's a gentle way to wake up your circulation and start flushing out waste that's built up overnight. But here's the key: timing. You want to do this before you drink coffee, tea, or eat anything else. Water comes first. It's like kickstarting the engine before driving the car. Do this consistently, and over time, it can have a big impact on everything from blood flow and digestion to mental sharpness. A Harvard Health study and cardiology reports from the Cleveland Clinic both confirm that early hydration, done right, helps lower cardiovascular risk and improves metabolic efficiency, especially in older adults. So that's step 1. Rehydrate your system before your feet hit the floor. But water is only the beginning. Once you've refueled the system, you need to get it moving, because lying still all night allows blood to settle, especially in your legs. The next step is a gentle 60-second movement flow that helps pump blood back to your brain and heart. I'll show you exactly how to do that in a moment. If you're still with me, type step 1 done in the comments, so I know you're following along and taking action. So you've hydrated your system. Great start. But now your body needs movement. After spending 6 to 8 hours lying still, blood tends to pool in the lower parts of the body, mainly your legs and feet. That means your brain not be getting the oxygen-rich blood it needs to wake up fully and safely. This drop in circulation is why many older adults feel dizzy when they first stand up. Or worse, why early morning falls and fainting are more common than you'd think. But here's the good news. You can fix this in just 1 minute. A 60-second light movement sequence done right after you rise from bed is enough to restart your circulation and send fresh blood to your brain, muscles, and heart. Here's how to do it. Stand beside your bed with your feet hip-width apart. Raise both arms overhead slowly as you take a deep breath in through your nose. Reach gently toward the ceiling to open up your chest and lungs. As you exhale through your mouth, lower your arms slowly and relax your shoulders. Next, roll your shoulders backward 5 times. Big, slow, deliberate circles. Then repeat 5 more rolls in the opposite direction. Finally, do 10 slow heel lifts. Rise up on your toes, hold for a second, then lower your heels gently back to the floor. This gentle sequence helps pump blood upward from your legs, loosens up stiff muscles, and signals to your body that the day has begun. Think of it as a soft nudge to your heart and brain, saying, "Let's get going." According to geriatric health researchers at Johns Hopkins University, activating your circulation in the first few minutes of the day can improve oxygen flow to the brain by over 40%. That means clearer thinking, less dizziness, and a reduced risk of morning cardiovascular events like stroke. It also helps you avoid that sluggish, heavy feeling that can linger through breakfast and beyond. You're not just moving your limbs, you're triggering your body's natural wake-up system. Even better, when done daily, this mini routine becomes second nature. Your balance improves, your stability improves, your energy improves, and all of that adds up to better independence and fewer risks of age-related injury. You don't need a gym, you don't need equipment, just 60 seconds, a little intention, and the willingness to put your health first. Now that your blood is flowing and your body's alert, the next step is critical. It's about fueling your muscles before they start breaking themselves down for energy. That's what we'll talk about in the next part. Here's a fact most people don't realize. After the age of 60, the timing of your protein intake matters almost as much as the amount. If you're skipping breakfast or delaying your first meal until mid-morning, you might be doing your muscles a serious disservice, even if you eat well later in the day. Let's break it down. During the early morning hours, especially between 3 a.m. and 8 a.m., your body enters a catabolic state. That's a fancy way of saying it starts to break down muscle tissue for energy if it doesn't receive the fuel it needs. And as we get older, this process becomes more aggressive and harmful. Why does that matter? Because muscle loss in older adults isn't just about getting weaker. It's directly linked to slower metabolism, reduced mobility, poor balance, and higher risk of falls. And unfortunately, once that muscle is lost, it's much harder to rebuild. The solution? Give your body high-quality protein as soon as possible after you wake up, ideally within the first 30 minutes. According to studies from the National Institute on Aging, adults over 65 who consume at least 25 to 30 grams of protein shortly after waking show significantly less muscle loss and better functional strength over time than those who delay it. Here are a few easy protein-packed options to get you started. A scoop of whey protein in water or unsweetened plant milk. Fast, effective, and gentle on digestion. Greek yogurt topped with chia seeds or chopped nuts. 4 to 5 egg whites with 1 whole egg, scrambled or boiled. Soft tofu stir-fried lightly or mixed into a breakfast bowl. Cottage cheese with sliced fruit for a sweet-salty balance. Or a plant-based protein shake made from peas, brown rice, or hemp, great for vegetarians and vegans. The key isn't being fancy, it's being consistent. Make it a part of your routine, just like brushing your teeth. Keep a container of protein powder on the counter. Prep a batch of boiled eggs each weekend. Find a solution that fits your lifestyle and stick with it. Here's the bonus. Early morning protein doesn't just support muscle. It helps regulate blood sugar, improves cognitive function, and even supports better posture and joint alignment throughout the day. Especially when paired with light movement like we discussed in Step 2. If you've been feeling a bit weaker lately, or noticing you're more easily fatigued, this simple change might be exactly what your body's been asking for. So tomorrow, instead of waiting until brunch or lunch to eat your first real meal, fuel your body right after that morning stretch. Your muscles, bones, and energy levels will thank you. And now, with your muscles nourished and your strength protected, let's move on to something just as important. Protecting your joints before they start moving for the day. You've hydrated, you've boosted circulation, you've fueled your muscles with early protein. Now it's time to do something that might be the single most overlooked habit among older adults, getting your joints moving gently right after you wake up. When we sleep, our bodies are still for hours, sometimes 7, 8, even 9. That stillness isn't just relaxing, it also causes a natural stiffness to settle into the muscles and connective tissues. The fluid that cushions your joints, called synovial fluid, thickens overnight, which means your joints aren't fully lubricated first thing in the morning. That's one reason older adults often wake up feeling tight, creaky, or even in pain when they take their first steps out of bed. But here's the good news. This stiffness is reversible. Quickly. You just need to gently prime your joints to get that fluid moving again. The solution? A simple 90-second morning joint wake-up routine. It's fast, safe, requires no equipment, and can dramatically reduce your risk of stiffness, falls, and painful strain. Here's what to do, and it all happens right at your bedside. Ankle circles, 30 seconds total. Sit on the edge of your bed. Lift one foot slightly off the ground and rotate your ankle 10 times clockwise, then 10 times counterclockwise. Switch feet. This activates circulation and reduces swelling. Knee rolls, 15 seconds. With both feet flat on the ground, place your hands on your knees. Slowly move your knees in small circular motions, 10 in one direction, then 10 the other. This warms up the synovial fluid around the knees. Side leans, 15 seconds. Stand up and holding onto a chair or dresser for balance if needed. Gently lean your upper body from side to side, 5 times each way. Keep your hips steady and let the movement come from your spine and rib cage. Torso twists, 15 seconds. With your hands on your hips or gently across your chest, slowly rotate your torso left and right, 5 times each direction. Keep your movement smooth, no jerking or bouncing. Shoulder rolls, 15 seconds. Finish by rolling your shoulders backwards in slow, wide circles 10 times. This helps open up the chest and improve posture for the rest of the day. This full routine takes about 90 seconds total, but it delivers powerful results, especially when practiced daily. You'll likely notice your steps feel lighter, your spine moves more fluidly, and that tight, rusty feeling disappears faster. Over time, this kind of regular joint mobility work can reduce long-term joint wear, support your flexibility, and help maintain your independence well into your 70s, 80s, and even 90s. And remember, motion is lotion. Your joints need gentle movement to stay nourished and healthy. Now that your body is moving freely and safely, it's time to focus on your most important organ, your brain. In the next step, I'll show you a fast, science-backed technique to boost your memory and sharpen your mind. Every single morning. Now that your body is hydrated, your circulation is flowing, and your joints are moving smoothly, it's time to activate the most important organ of all, your brain. Most people don't realize this, but the first 30 minutes after waking are a golden opportunity for brain health. Your mind is transitioning from rest to alertness, and during that time, it's highly receptive to forming new neural pathways. This is when your brain is most plastic, flexible, adaptable, and primed to grow. But what do most of us do? We grab our phones, we check the news, we bombard the brain with noise and distraction. Instead, what if you use just 1 minute to strengthen your memory, sharpen focus, and build mental clarity for the rest of your day? Here's how. It's called the reverse recall technique, a simple mental exercise that challenges your memory and stimulates important regions of your brain without stress or complexity. Here's how to do it. Find a quiet moment. Sit somewhere comfortable, even at the edge of your bed. Close your eyes and take a deep breath in and out. Begin to mentally walk backward through your previous day. Start with last night, your evening routine, what you had for dinner, who you spoke with. Work your way slowly through the day. What did you do in the afternoon? Where did you go? What did you eat for lunch? What were you wearing? How did you feel? Keep going until you reach the morning. Try to recall your first task or thought from the previous day. You don't have to be perfect. The effort itself is what matters. This simple 1-minute recall practice taps into both your short-term and long-term memory banks. It strengthens the brain's hippocampus, the memory center, and builds new connections between neurons, helping you stay sharp and focused throughout the day. And here's the surprising part. Studies from cognitive aging researchers show that people over 60 who perform brief mental recall exercises in the morning have a significantly lower risk of cognitive decline later in life. In fact, it's been shown to increase levels of BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor, a protein that supports learning, memory, and mental resilience. Even better, you don't need puzzles, screens, or apps. Just your mind, a moment of peace, and the willingness to focus. So now you've completed all 5 elements of the 5-minute longevity-boosting morning routine. Hydrate smartly, stimulate circulation, fuel with early protein, loosen up your joints, activate mental clarity. Each one takes just a moment, but together they create a compound effect that supports your strength, focus, balance, and long-term vitality. If you've stayed with me this far, congratulations, not just for listening, but for taking your health seriously. What you've just learned isn't a gimmick or a trendy wellness hack. It's a science-backed, doctor-approved way to boost energy, protect your heart, preserve your memory, and move through life with more freedom and less fear. All by investing just 5 intentional minutes every morning. Let's review the 5 daily elements that create a strong foundation for aging well. 1. Morning hydration protocol. Replenish lost fluids immediately after waking. Action. Drink 16 ounces of room temperature water with a squeeze of lemon within the first 1-2 minutes of waking. 2. Circulation reset. 60 seconds. Encourage blood flow to your brain and muscles. Action. Light movement. Arms up and down, shoulder rolls, and 10 heel raises. 3. Protein timing method. Protect muscle mass and stabilize energy. Action. Within 30 minutes of waking, eat 25 to 30 grams of protein, eggs, yogurt, tofu, protein shake. 4. 90-second mobility routine. Loosen joints, reduce stiffness, and improve balance. Action. Ankle circles, knee rolls, torso twists, and backward shoulder rolls. 5. Morning brain activation. Strengthen memory and mental clarity. Action. Do a 60-second mental recall of the previous day in reverse order. Together, this routine supports the 3 areas most affected by aging: circulation, heart, blood pressure, stroke risk; mobility, muscle joints, balance; cognition, focus, memory, emotional resilience. Now let's talk about how to make it stick. Your 7-day morning longevity challenge. I encourage you to take on the next 7 mornings as a personal challenge. Each day you'll complete these 5 steps. Keep it simple. Keep it consistent. Here's your guide. Day 1. Just do the routine. No pressure. Focus on learning. Day 2. Add the protein step with more intention. Prep it the night before if needed. Day 3. Include the memory recall. Even if you forget details, try anyway. Day 4. Time yourself. Can you complete everything in under 6 minutes? Day 5. Reflect. Do you feel more energized? Clearer? Day 6. Try inviting a partner or friend to join you. Day 7. Celebrate. You've built a powerful new habit. After just 1 week, you may start to feel more awake in the morning, stronger during the day, and more confident that you're doing something good for your long-term health. Remember, you don't have to do everything perfectly. You just have to begin. Small daily changes lead to big lifelong results. If you found this helpful, give it a like and leave a comment. Which of these 5 steps are you most excited to try tomorrow morning? If you have loved ones or friends over 65, feel free to share this video with them. You might not just be sharing advice, but giving them a chance to experience life in a new way. See you in the next video.